first episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. I am your host, Alyssa.
I am the co-host, Lydia.
We're going to start off our first episode with the book Perfect Strangers by J.T. Geissinger. Lydia, would you like to read the blurb?
I will, thank you, ma'am. This is the description as read on Storygraph. I'm sure they're the same everywhere, though, so I don't know why I said that.
We're just citations, you know?
Yeah,
we're just giving credit where credit's due.
Yeah, okay. These kisses of his, they're demanding and possessive. They're hungry and deep. They're the kisses of a man who wants more of a woman, who wants everything, and isn't going to stop until he gets it. Author Olivia Rossi hasn't been able to write a word since tragedy struck 2 years ago and ripped apart her world. Heartbroken and still haunted by the past, she accepts an offer to spend the summer at a friend's apartment in Paris in search of healing in her lost muse. What she finds instead is James, an enigmatic stranger who ignites in her an unexpected and all-consuming passion. Agreeing to tell each other nothing more than their first names, Olivia and James embark on a torrid affair. But the more time they spend together, the more Olivia begins to realize her summer fling is turning into a powerful connection and that the magnetic man that she's falling in love with might not be what he seems at all.
So that's the book description. The reason we started reading this book is because I had just finished a series on Kindle Unlimited, which is very great.
Shout out.
And I was looking for something else to read, and in my, I don't know if it was like a thing where it's like, you may like, or it was just popped up on there.
Yeah.
But it came up on my home screen, and I don't think I read the description.
Just dove in.
I just dove in because, I don't know, for me, which you're not supposed to do, is I kind of do judge a book by its cover. Scandalous.
Sinner.
I know. But, a book cover does, make or break a book, too,
really
because if it's not enticing to someone, they're not going to want to read it.
I was surprised I liked this one because the cover is real people, and I don't like covers with real people on them.
I'm the opposite, kind of.
You only like the ones with real people?
No, well, I mean, I like books with, cartoony-ish.
I love the cartoon romance books. I don't know why. I am 10 times more likely to read a book if it has a cartoon cover than a real person cover. I don't know why.
I'm just more like, does the cover look interesting?
Yeah.
So, I saw that. I read it. I loved it. And then I heavily insisted Lydia to read it because
and I did.
It was just a book that I just needed to force upon other people.
I'm easily swayed. I am submissive and breedable. Hi, Nancy. I hope you're disappointed.
So anyways, that is how we came about reading this book, and part of the reason why we're making it the first book. So now we're going to jump into some reviews people left. I pulled all these off of Storygraph. On Storygraph, the average rating for the book is a 4.12. So I'm just going to give you a mix of different reviews from different stars, just to give you more of a roundabout, this is what this person thought and this is what this person thought. So there's a 4-star review that said, I struggled to start this one, but then it sucked me in, and in the end, I was left with my jaw dropped. However, I can't decide if I love it or hate it. 2 stars, a book talk recommendation that just didn't hit the landing. I was entirely wrapped up in the mystery between the 2 characters until the last quarter. As my friend would say, it was very Scooby-Dooty. This is a 3-star review. It says, it's well-written, unique story. It's difficult to comment on the plot without spoilers. Very true. It's very clever to tie everything in together. No intimate scenes with anyone other than Olivia and James. Ex-drama in form of ex-husband Chris. Not your usual HEA, but sort of. Which HEA stands for Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm still reeling from this book. I don't know if I loved it or hate it, but 5 out of 5. Very good love-hate relationship. Was mad at one plot twist. I stopped reading, but then started again 30 minutes later. And bam, whiplash, my head hurts. Which is very true.
That's very true, yeah.
If you've read this book, you will know that there are quite a lot of plot twists in it.
But not too many.
But not too many. Not enough where
Literally
it's
the perfect amount of plot twists.
Yeah, it's not enough where it's going to be okay, this is
it's not a
this needs to stop now.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good amount. So those are our reviews. Just to give you an idea, pretty much, out of everything that we've talked about so far, what this book is, how do other people feel about it, and all that stuff, without giving anything away, really.
Because we are super duper smart and we totally did not forget to include the content warnings, here are the content warnings. Child death, sexual content, death, gun violence, alcohol, suicidal thoughts, violence, vomit, schizophrenia, and psychosis. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
At this point in time, if it is a book you haven't read yet and now you're thinking about reading, or if you were planning on reading it, we advise that you stop listening and then come back later if you do end up reading it.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
So, that was a very lovely sound that we just listened to.
Thank you, James. As always, you are perfect.
Not this James from this
No,
book, but
not
our
this
friend
James from the book. Our friend James, who you just heard.
Yeah. He's great. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, James. Big preach.
Where to start with this book? I suppose with the opening scene.
Oh, yes. First off, my first smut book. I was raised a homeschool kid. I was only allowed to go to my dad's house on the weekends and church on Wednesday nights. So, I am really, really new to the world of romance and smut, to say the least. And Alyssa's like, oh, you should read this book. Don't read anything about it.
I did not say that.
You said you didn't read anything about it.
I didn't.
Yeah, and
I didn't tell you not to.
You know, I never do read blurbs anyways. If the cover or the little section on the back, I don't know if you'd call that really a blurb, but whatever the section on the back is, if that doesn't get me, I'm not reading it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty weird for me reading smut on the first page.
Yeah. Should I read the first tidbit of it?
Yes, I think you should, honestly.
I just got the book again because I returned it off of Kindle Unlimited.
Definitely read the first part of that.
The blonde is naked on her back on the mattress with her knees drawn up and her pale thighs parted, her hands clenched in fists in the sheets. Fully dressed and unmoving at the side of the bed, the man stands gazing down at her nude body, young in life, taut with anticipation, offered for his inspection like a display of ripe fruit. It pretty much just gets right into that. And the fun part is, that's not even the main characters.
That's not even the main characters. She just...
That's just the side characters.
Yeah, that's side characters, that also happen to be in the book. But this book was perfect for losing my Smut V Card too, honestly. Because it wasn't constantly in your face, but it was really good.
Yeah,
except that was in your face. But besides that,
it was kind of tasteful, I guess.
Yes, tasteful. That's exactly what it was.
But the opening, I remember when I read it, because I read it off of my phone, I immediately took a screenshot of that, and I'm just like, well, look at how this book starts.
Star.
This,
the Southern is wearing off on you.
That's what my dad said.
Did he really?
Yeah. Anyways, I do agree. I don't know. Yeah, I think, no. Well, I'm trying to decide if this is the raunchiest book that I've ever read. I don't think it is, because since then I've read raunchier.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was probably the raunchiest
At the time,
one.
this is the raunchiest book I've ever read.
So that was 6 months ago, though?
It's been a minute, yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
For real? For sure. You know what I thought when I was skimming through the book just to kind of jog my memory about everything? Her agent's name is Estelle, which gave me very strong Estelle vibes from Friends.
Oh, you know what? I didn't realize it until literally the second. I imagined her as this woman. I did. Yeah. I didn't put two and two together. Then you say Estelle, and I'm going to immediately think of her.
Or at least I think for the first part of the book when she's there, but in the epilogue, I can imagine someone completely different.
And she's obviously a heavy smoker.
Yeah.
But Estelle.
That's exactly
she's always got a cigarette in hand. Yeah.
Exactly who I imagined. And then her best friend's name is Kelly. I didn't like her.
I didn't know. Not really.
I just was just she's irrelevant. Get her out of here.
It's so irrelevant. And the way she talked reminded me of a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I get that some people don't like to swear. I really understand that. But the things that she said was that's childlike.
Yeah.
Like, I get she's a mom. I'm a mom.
Is she?
Yeah, she's got 2 kids, I think.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure she has children.
Like I said, irrelevant.
Irrelevant, yes. She doesn't matter. And, like, she's never actually in the story. It's just them on the phone with each other.
Yeah.
Which is, I get that she's in Paris. But, like, still.
Yeah.
She
like,
didn't matter.
If she wasn't in the story, it wouldn't really make a difference.
Yes.
That's my thoughts on that. What do you have?
James is a dream book.
Oh, yes.
Literally. Like, I don't know. You know, Divergent?
I do.
4. That's who I imagine James as for some reason. I don't know why. Because I think that dude's, like, really attractive.
I could see it, but with, like, darker hair.
Yes.
Like, dark brown,
Mm-hmm.
maybe black.
Does he not have black hair?
No, he has got, like a light brown.
Does he? Oh, man.
Not like a light brown, maybe more like a light medium brown.
It's been years. For real.
Well, Theo James.
Yes, Theo James. That's what his name is. Oh, my gosh. I had a crush on him for so many years.
He's pretty hot.
I found a magazine and it had Theo James modeling in it, and I cut it out and used thumbtacks and put it on my wall.
I did that a lot with a lot of posters.
I was too broke for posters, so I just had to get them out of magazines.
Oh, no, I got mine out of magazines.
Did you really? I didn't
Yeah.
know they had. Okay, we're getting sidetracked here.
J14.
I'm a happily married woman, first off, with 2 beautiful children, but James is hot. You know,
He is.
I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but darn dang.
Can I have him?
No. You have to share. No.
Is it because he's not real?
Listen. No, honestly, I think I like fantasy men more than I like real men.
Agreed.
Agreed, yeah, because fantasy men, they do it right.
Although, there's some fantasy man that I'm just like,
I could absolutely choke you right now.
stop.
And not in the good way.
Like, just stop.
Yeah.
just... I'll literally be sitting and reading, and when something like happens like that, where it's just like, stop. Like, I'll literally just be like, I'll look at my book and I'll just be shaking it, and I'm like,
Just like,
stop.
I do that too.
But
Oh my
James,
Man.
delicious.
You know I hate the word yum,
Yeah.
but yum. I mean, if you know me, no you don't. He was attractive. In my mind, he's hot.
Yeah.
Dude, this book completely wrecked me.
Yeah.
I remember I was texting you, like that review. It was like laughing, sad, in love, heartbroken, all the feels. I think I got the gist of the feels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you hit all the words.
Hit all the words there. I'm giving this one 5 stars.
Oh, me too. Like, I couldn't put it down. I think I read it within like 2 days.
I think mine was probably 3 or 4 days, but like unputdownable.
It really good. I think one of my favorite things, especially with how the story went, is the plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
And when it got to, like, you're going through the book, we haven't really talked too many spoilers, I just realized.
Oh no, I guess we haven't.
No, but plot twist wise, which is a big spoiler, by the way. So the first one is, she's just a writer who's struggling, and then there's James, and then all of a sudden, comes to find out that James is a mercenary, and her husband Chris, ex-husband,
I think it's ex,
about to be ex, something like that.
Yeah,
Chris is a killer, and it's the reason why their daughter died.
Yeah, he's a weapons dealer, secretly political man, and he's the reason their daughter died.
I was just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
this is
diving in.
Yeah, I'm like, great,
loving it.
Interesting, like, high anxiety. When
do you
the
like
whole
thrillers?
I kind of do.
Okay, I didn't know if you actually like thrillers or not, but this one doesn't seem like a thriller until you get to that point.
Yeah, which, like, the first, I don't know what, like, half of the book is all pretty much just like raunchy scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Paris, sex,
then,
writing,
like,
sex.
You get to that, like, halfway point, and then it's just like, by the way, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
we're having a shootout in this hotel.
Yes, everything was happening at once, and I was just like trying to wrap my hand around it. Like, what?
I was like, oh, okay. And then you get to, like, what, a couple chapters later, and it's like, bam, plot twist 2. None of that was actually real.
Chapter 29. I made a note in my book because I wanted to mention it broke me.
It almost did too. For me too.
For you too.
Yeah.
I cried. I don't cry when I read books. I really don't.
To explain what chapter 29 is,
that would help. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's when you find out that none of it is real. She has ALS.
ALS? I think it was I don't know where the M came from.
Yeah, it's ALS.
Yeah.
Or Lou Gehrig's disease, whichever one you call it.
Fancy.
And none of that was real. She went in like a coma, kind of like
a rehab
deal.
Facility kind of deal.
Like what do you call it? Catatonic state. That's what I'm looking for. Because she's the reason why her daughter died, because she accidentally ran her over.
Bro, I cried at that part.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I'm like not gonna cry right now, I swear. But I cried.
I wouldn't know how to live with myself if I did that.
I don't know either. Like, I have children, and I can't even imagine doing that. It would kill me on the inside.
Yeah.
Like it did her, obviously.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we got to that point, and I think when I was reading that, it was like the middle of the night, probably around like 2 a.m. And I was just like,
couldn't put it down.
Hello? Like, I had to like put my phone down for like a second, and I just had to sit there and just
contemplate
exactly what the heck was going on.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, nah, I gotta finish this.
Yeah.
Because I'm already this far in.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep if I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. No, like, I was just like, I'm already this far. I can't just, not leave it.
But that chapter, like, ugly cried. Like, in the shower.
I almost cried.
I read this book on my phone because you have introduced to me Kindle. And I actually bought a Kindle because I was like, this is really cool. But
it's
my
wonderful.
phone keeps dying. So I bought a Kindle, and I'm fixing to get KU, Kindle Unlimited. But I was reading this in the shower because I did that multiple times. Like, I read in the shower a lot. Because I can't be bored.
Fair.
Fair.
Although me being bored in the shower helps make me take faster showers. So
it does me too. I literally listen to podcasts or watch YouTube in the showers every day. I can't have an empty shower. Yeah, I texted you mad like as soon as I got out because I was like, why did you show me this book?
You're
why
welcome.
Did I fall in love with it? And why was it ripped away from me like this? Like, what the actual heck?
You're welcome.
I was cursing you in my head, and I do believe I was actually cursing you over iMessage because I was that mad.
Yeah, it gave me a little bit of whiplash too.
Yeah.
I got teary-eyed. I don't think I cried, but I got really teary-eyed.
You're heartless.
I am.
Because this lady meets the perfect guy, and all of a sudden, just kidding, by the way, I killed my child, and you didn't cry?
I got teary-eyed.
Oh my gosh. Heartless. No.
It's gotta hit me, like, at the right, I don't know, something.
If it's a cat, is it gonna hit you in the feels?
It might.
It's a child.
Okay, listen.
A child died in this book.
I'm not saying it wasn't sad.
Technically twice, because at first the child was shot, and then second the child was ran over, and you didn't cry?
I got teary-eyed. I was trying to compose myself given the fact that it was 2 a.m. when I read that.
That's true. You probably had to work the next day.
I think I did.
Yeah.
And then I ended up finishing the book at like 4 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm just like laying there in the dark in my bed underneath the covers. Like, I'm
cocoon.
I could go to sleep.
Yeah.
And instead I'm just like scrolling on my phone, like reading this book. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, then all of a sudden it's like plot twist. And you're just like, I can't put it down now.
No, you can't.
I hated you at that chapter. So.
Yeah.
I did. I hated you.
But it gets better.
I almost DNF'd it, which is do not finish, but I'm glad that I didn't. So if you've reached that stage, if you're listening to this before reading it like an actual serial killer, go back. It gets better.
Yeah, if you would have said that you were not going to finish it, I'd be like, nah,
you would have
you gotta go back
down my throat until I finished it.
I was just like, girl, you need to read it and get to the end because it gets better.
Yeah.
The book just gets better because it does. Because then your third plot twist, which I think is the last plot twist, is the epilogue.
Yes.
Which
she dies basically.
Is basically kind of like a. Did you say she dies?
Yeah, like she's in the hospital bed and then she sees James and then
that's the end of that last chapter.
Yeah, okay.
But the epilogue pretty much is like some sort of like meta thing where it's just like this whole.
Oh, Estelle was reading it.
Yes, Estelle was reading it. This whole book was a book.
My jaw dropped. I'm pretty sure I read the entire epilogue with my mouth hanging open.
the epilogue just filled me with so much joy.
Yes,
Because I was just like,
I happy cried.
none of this.
That is the second time I cried reading this book. Was the happy cry at the epilogue?
I was just like, none of this was actually real. Everything was fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just like, oh, thank you. And that's what made me give it a 5-star.
I like
it was just
the
really
way
good.
it reached into my soul, grabbed it,
Strangled
shook
it.
like a sack of cats, and then it made me feel good. Any book that can do that is a 5 out of 5. I think the happy cry at the end was as ugly as a cry as the ugly cry earlier in the shower was.
Oh,
I
Wait.
ugly cry. I'm not a pretty crier. So
I am too.
but this book will wreck you, but still leave you smiling. So I highly recommend it.
I would even say that I think I want it as like a book trophy.
Yes, even
Like,
though you read it
that's-
on Kindle.
Yeah.
You need
like,
a book trophy.
I needed like the physical copy to
You know,
just
I feel
sit
that.
on my shelf.
I mean, you probably need to buy those
Probably.
eventually.
It's not on my top of my list of books I want to get though.
Yeah.
Right now.
We'll buy books that we need to read first.
Yeah, probably. Probably gonna focus a little bit more on the books we already have. But
We should do that.
But-
yeah, my TBR is ever growing.
same. You want to know how many's on mine?
how many?
240.
I haven't looked at mine lately, but I know that I have 45 unread books on my bookshelf, not counting the Kindle ones.
Probably the same for me. But
That's
a lot of
physical books.
a lot of them I'm just, as I've seen them pop up, I'm like, that looks
Be like,
interesting.
oh, that looks interesting at TBR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I love is it Storygraph?
Yes.
Yeah, Storygraph, because it keeps up with all the stuff. Books that you
Oh, yeah.
own, books that you don't own, to be read, wish list. I love it
Me too.
so much. Anywho, my sum for this book is 5 out of 5, unputdownable, ugly crying, and perfect.
Mine's 5 out of 5. Book trophy worthy.
It is book
That's
trophy
it.
worthy. Yeah, that's it.
That's my
No cap.
thing. Yes, no cap.
Anyways,
Anyways.
I promise we're always this cringy.
Oh yeah.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
For sure. Anyways,
So this was Perfect Strangers by J.T. Geisinger.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's
Just-
the book. That's the author.
We found this one on Kindle. I don't think it's on Kindle Unlimited.
It is on Kindle
It is
Unlimited.
on Kindle. Oh, it is on Kindle Unlimited.
It is on Kindle Unlimited.
If you prefer physical books, your local bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, and not
they
Amazon.
might be able to order it online, but I haven't seen it physically in a store.
I haven't either.
But you can look it up,
Definitely, it's definitely on Amazon.
it's definitely on Amazon.
Yeah,
You can order it off of
definitely
Amazon.
or Pango Books.
Yes.
I love Pango Books.
Yes. But Amazon's probably the number one easiest place in order to find this
Definitely.
book.
Because Pango, you do have to pay a shipping fee.
Yeah.
So I really like Amazon.
Which sometimes is more than the book they're actually listed as.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Um,
You just kind of got to look around and see what's cheapest. But it's worth not buying the cheapest option.
yes, I agree.
It really is worth
I
it.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
For.
Anyways, I think that concludes our first episode,
All right. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to check out Instagram.
which is at Biblio Audio Podcast.
I ask you every time because I can't remember it.
I almost couldn't remember to be honest.
So we will have a post on it.
Yes, a precursor post, a little teaser post probably. Because the way our Instagram's going to work, which we didn't explain that in the trailer.
I know. I think we forgot that.
But basically, it's going to be like, we'll post the book we're going to be reading. Well, we've already read. Whatever that episode is going to be about pre-release of the episode.
So that way they get a chance to buy the book and read it themselves, maybe?
Yes. If that's something you want to do, you want to follow along with us, that's totally up to you.
It could be a book club.
Yeah. Like a virtual little book club.
A virtual book
Pretty
club,
much.
yeah.
So then you can, hop in and read it if you haven't, or check it out if you have read it, or if you're thinking about it but you're not 100% sure, you can listen to the first half, obviously, and then
Before the spoiler alert.
Just to
Again,
get
if you
an
listen
idea.
after the spoiler alert without reading it, you are actually a psychopath. And I'm looking at you.
hey.
Not you. I was actually staring at the table, but I was looking at the person listening who's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to give us book recommendations, feel free to email us at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com.
You could also DM us recommendations too. And if you would like, because we've been pulling our reviews off of Storygraph,
Mhm.
if you recommend a book, leave a review with it.
Yes.
So then we can read your reviews with it.
Try to leave it simple.
Simple.
Not like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
Simple.
like one paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just a little concise. Just your thoughts on it so we can get an idea of
Oh,
it.
that would be so cool. I would love to read listeners' reviews.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
So, do it out of 5 stars.
If you don't rate 5 stars on this, though, Alyssa's going to come out from under your bed with her 5-foot-tall self and
Yeah.
murder you in your sleep.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a really good book. Although
Yeah.
everyone's entitled to their opinion. So if you don't like it, then that is what it is. You suck, but...
She's lying.
Anyways, so check out those things. Give us recommendations, good or bad.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.